I'm a witness.
Okay, well, if you're a witness, then we're going to be seizing your
So what'd you say?
He's gonna spit in your face, you're gonna get AIDS.
Strong words, bad information. Not only did the officer not know the arrested man's HIV or AIDS status, but the officer ought to have known that HIV can't be transmitted through saliva.
It's not just misinformation, it's fear-mongering. So not only was the officer not using proper training in HIV transmission, but it was also stigmatizing the 20,000 people living in this city with HIV. This officer set us back 30 years.
It is extremely irresponsible for Toronto Police Services to allow this kind of information and to say these things.
The AIDS Committee of Toronto is demanding police take action by conducting a mandatory training session for officers about the transmission of HIV and by hearing directly from those affected by the virus.
Not only should this officer face discipline, but the entire TPS should face proper training on HIV transmission. If they truly are at risk of HIV, then they should be trained on how HIV is actually transmitted.
HIV can be transmitted through vaginal and anal fluids, semen, breast milk, and blood, which means that medical first responders and law enforcement officers are at a slightly enhanced risk of being exposed. But even then, it's something that can be controlled.
For the people that have an occupational exposure, such as nurses, pharmacists, and doctors, or those that work in correctional facilities, they may get a bite, we have something called post-exposure prophylaxis. So this little blue tablet once a day, will prevent someone who is exposed to HIV from being infected with the virus.
Officers we've spoken to say there are violent side effects, but Fanous says those too can be controlled.
Some of the older agents did cause stomach upset, but now many people get post-exposure prophylaxis all the time without any side effects.
He's gonna spit in your face, you're gonna get AIDS.
But there are side effects from that officer's misguided warning, a population that feels further marginalized, and a deepening divide between police and a community largely impacted by the virus.
That isolated incident is not an isolated incident by one bad cop. I think that is indicative of what is going on in the system right now. I think if a cop says that when he's being filmed, can you imagine what they're saying behind closed doors? Can you imagine what they're saying in private when we're not listening or watching them?
The Toronto Police Union says that officer is under investigation for those comments and could face discipline. Outside of Toronto Police Headquarters, Cristina Howorun, City News.